and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Catherine and I'm here to give you some tips and insights on how to become an international student in Canada. If you're new to my channel, my name is Catherine and I'm an education counselor from Kanata Education. It is one of the leading consultancy agency in Manila. Yes. So we are here to inspire you and assist you and help you prospective students who wants to study in Canada without the extra cost. So if you are still doubting our agency or you're doubting me as your counselor, you can always watch this video. There is this bar where I explained why we don't collect processing fees. So make sure to watch that so you'll understand why we don't collect and what is our goal, what is our mission, what is our vision, and how do we help you guys in achieving your dream of studying in Canada. So for today's video, I am going to discuss or give you the 5 steps you need to take after receiving a refusal. So let's be real here, guys. You know, there is no guarantee. Even if you pay your agency worth 70,000, 100,000, 120,000 pesos, there is no guarantee that you will get an approval after your submission for your visa application and you pay this huge amount of money. Say huge amount of money because it's actually a lot. I really feel bad for these students or these people who are paying that much amount for their application. I mean, there are these DIY groups, but if you're doing it DIY, sometimes after reading so much comments or information about this particular student who has a visa approval, you will still end up confused or lost because some of these testimonials or stories from the approved students doesn't apply to you. So at the end, you still don't know what to do, right? I'm just being honest. I have nothing against DIY groups. I'm all for it. I'm supportive of it. Sometimes my students are also getting information from it. However, I always say that every application is different and it depends on your case. So this is why I ask you to send us a message if you are interested to study in Canada and we don't collect processing fees. You don't have to pay us a hefty amount of money just to get an information from us. I mean, I am very transparent. I am very open and generous with information, so you are actually getting it for free. So you don't have to do the DIY. You have someone who will guide you and you did not pay us anything. So what's there to lose, guys? Going back to the topic of this video, before we go to the 5 steps, please don't forget subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this a video a thumbs up button so that we can reach more aspiring students who wants to study in Canada. So yeah, okay. First of all, guys, if you received a refusal, I wanted to say how sorry I am that it was not successful. I will be honest with you guys that I also have students who get refused. And like I mentioned earlier, there is no guarantee for approval. However, I know at every application I make or assist, I do give my 110%. You can ask some of my applicants or some of my students who are not able to write their study plan properly, and honestly, I write it from scratch and I don't charge them anything. I don't charge them fees for writing the study plan. However, it is a must for us that you do write your study plan. But yeah, for every application I submitted, I still give my 110%. But if in case it gets rejected, then really I feel bad and I feel sorry and I feel like I'm part of the reason why it did not get a positive outcome. Although it's not entirely up to me and as much as possible I try to cover all the refusal points, and I make sure that I was able to give them the right advice, or the proper requirements or the right documentations in order to achieve the approval or get the approval. But at the end of the day, it's still in the hands of the visa officer or the IRCC, or whatever you wanted to call them. It's still under their discretion, and it's up to them basically. They are the ones who are making the decision whether they will give you the approval or not. But I am really sorry to everyone who is getting a refusal. But don't lose hope. As long as Canada is open and we can still reapply, the funds are still there, you are still accepted from the school, then you can always do a reapplication to Canada. Okay, so let's start the 5 steps you need to take after receiving a refusal letter. So the first thing you need to do after you receive the letter is to sleep on it. What do I mean by sleep on it? You have to digest, you have to absorb the shock or the this negative decision or negative impact. So you have to sleep on it. I know some of the students are very rushed to fly to Canada or to leave the country, but sometimes making a rush decision doesn't help, and so I always advise to take it in, and then once you already figured out, or once you've already spent the night, or siguro nag-inom ka, kung ano man yung ginawa mo, then make the decision the next day. So sometimes while waiting for the result, some of you might have already used the money, or your sponsor has already used the money. So your sponsor has already used the money, so you have to check these things. This is why I always advise my students to please sleep on it, don't make rush decision, take it in, and the next day, if you've already made up your mind, then you can always come back to me so that the next day you can take the next necessary steps. Okay, so that is the first thing you need to do. It's to sleep on it. So let's say that you still have the funds, your sponsor still have the funds, and you still want to reapply for the next intake. Now, the next thing you have to do is to check your school's deferral policy and defer your program to the next available intake. You have to keep in mind I said next available intake because not all programs are available for all intakes. So some cases, okay, let's say for example you applied for May 2022 or Spring 2022. Some programs is not available for September, or let's say it's not available for January of the next year. So this is why you have to check whether there are still available slots for the next intake. Now, another case, for example, is that you applied for September intake. Now, some schools, if the program started on September, then you must do a reapplication because the program is only available for the next year's September. So you cannot defer. Basically, you have to withdraw your application, do the refund, and then reapply. So that's some schools are doing that. Now, the other case is if your program is available for the next intake, it is offered for the next intake. However, the slots are full already, then you cannot defer to the next intake. You must wait for the next intake where the slots are available. Do you get my point? Anyway, you have to check with the school when is the next available intake for you. So you have to keep in touch always with your school representative or with your agent to make sure that you can secure the slot for your program. So that's the second step. Now, for the third step is to request for GCMS notes. So GCMS stands for Global Case Management System, wherein IRCC uses this system to process immigration and citizenship applications. It is also a system which includes all the detailed information about the applicant and correspondence and everything, including documents received by the embassy. So we do not process GCMS notes. You have to request for it online. So you need to use a middleman. Usually a lawyer, a certified lawyer, an immigration consultant can process this. So I have posted the link for companies or websites who are offering GCMS notes. So it will cost you, I think, $12 or $15 to request for GCMS notes. Now, most students skip this part, but for me as your agent, or I don't know, even if I'm an applicant and I got a refusal, I will still request for GCMS notes. Why? Because that means I can get the clear or detailed information about my application, and I can address the refusal points mentioned in the letter. Kasi yung nabigay lang sa inyong letter, it's very vague. So, let's say for example, ang reason lang ng refusal mo is based on your purpose of going to Canada. So, that's it. You'll never know what is the exact reason behind it. So, through the GCMS notes, you will learn, or you'll find out the detailed explanation why you get refused. Now, why some of you guys are skipping this part, it's because it takes too long to receive the result of your GCMS notes. Sometimes, it can take a minimum of 45 days to 90 days. And because we are in a rush, we always wanted to do things fast. Gusto natin na, sige na, apply na, reapply na, kasi gusto na natin umalis. But then again, guys, the important part is for you to get approved. So, that's the only thing. You want to get to Canada. So, you want to do this the right way the next time. So, you have to get this GCMS note so you can properly address the refusal points. Kasi, if you don't get it and you also don't know, we are just guessing, kasi siguro mali yung program mali yung program na ititake ko, or kasi siguro yung funds ko not enough. You will never know what exactly is the reason kasi it's very vague. Sometimes it doesn't even apply to you. Like for example, because of your home ties or your family ties in Canada, but you don't have a family there. So how can you justify that? Maybe there are some information that the IRCC found out about you and you're not even aware of it. So this is why I highly recommend that you get or request for GCMS notes, no matter how long it take. Kasi it's very critical. It's very important for you to find out so that the next time you apply, then you will know what exactly you must write in your study plan so that the next reapplication you'll get approved for it. Right. So for the fourth step you need to take is to gather fresh documents. So what are these fresh documents? So hindi naman ito yung academic transcripts. What I'm talking about is the bank statements of your sponsor or your own bank statements. Now this bank statement, syempre you've given or submitted like at least 1 month before your date of submission. Now let's say it took 2 to 3 months before the release of the visa decision. Now it already is more than 3 months for your documents. So, syempre, we need fresh documents, yung latest, yung kailangan nating i-supply or i-submit for our application. This is why you need to gather fresh documents or the latest documents. Also, with your NBIs. NBIs must be 3 months valid from the time of submission. Now, even if the NBI is a year, ang validity, we are requesting for you guys to submit yung validity niya within 3 months. So, kinuha mo lang siya within 3 months from the time of submission. So, this is why you also need to get an NBI. Also, you have to check if your medical is still valid. Medical is valid for 1 year. So if your application has took you more than 1 year to reapply, then you must get a new medical appointment sa clinic where you are applying. Clinic in the country where you are applying. That is for our fourth step. Okay, and last but not the least is to address it on your study plan or rewrite your study plan. So you have to rewrite your study plan and address the refusal points mentioned in your refusal letter. Now, with your GCMS notes, you can actually highlight those reasons, or you can defend the refusal points mentioned in your GCMS notes and explain it properly in order to convince the IRCC or the visa officer that you actually, or your intention is to only study in Canada. So this is why it's very important that you have a GCMS notes so you can answer those refusal points. So sometimes medyo confusing din naman yung refusal letter. Sometimes it doesn't apply to everyone. We don't know what is the reason of the IRCC exactly. So I highly suggest that you go back to step 3 and get the GCMS notes So basically, that's it. That's the 5 steps you need to take once you receive your refusal letter. I don't wish for everyone to have these refusal letters. However, again, there's no guarantee when applying for a study permit and visa to Canada. So we must be ready, and you have to keep an open mind and make sure that you are, don't get too much disappointed. Don't also blame your agent if you get refused. It's a team between you and your agent, so you also have to take part in it. Okay, that's it for today's video. I hope I was able to help you guys. If you are not my student and you get a refusal, I'm very sorry once again for your decision, for the decision that you received. And I wish you guys good luck and all the best to your next application. Don't lose hope. As long as Canada is open, as long as they are accepting international students, then you still have that hope to get to Canada the easiest and fastest way. Now, this is only a challenge, could be a bump in the road, or it could be a lesson that you must learn along the way. So, you enjoy the journey, and once you get to Canada, it's all gonna be worth it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!